the cities, it is how our government is supposed to work. Our government is supposed to work from the bottom up. You know, your cities, your counties, your school boards, that's supposed to be the big thing in your life, not Washington. But in our own cities, we're seeing this stuff happening over and over. And Dennis, you got a little information on New Hope's budget. Can you share a little bit? Don't laugh too hard.
Yeah, I
share
can,
what you've learned.
I can share a little bit. I live in New Hope, and I just started taking a look at the New Hope city budget. It's something I hadn't focused on till Andrew suggested that I do, so that we've got a little bit of broader scope in this program. But New Hope is about the same size as Crystal. And I don't have the total budget figures, but I'm just going to run through some of the points that kind of struck me. First of all was the size of the document. I mean, when I downloaded it, 140 pages of PDF.
That's right.
You enough space on your hard drive for that?
Barely.
Yeah.
And in all that, they said they've put it in a new format for, quote, enhanced understandability.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so it
went from
probably
Greek to Swahili.
Exactly, right. I noticed there's going to be no across-the-board increases. That was sort of almost in bold type, but underneath it, still step movement and, quote, routine adjustments are still included in the budget. So the gravy train is not over for the public employees in New Hope.
All right, well, let me interrupt you just for a second. Why, ladies and gentlemen? Because it's my show. Jason, I want to get your thoughts a little bit on, we'll come back to New Hope in a second.
Sure.
Your thoughts about Crystal's budget. I know you've looked at it a little bit, and I got some interesting things. And what's your take on, like I have to ask, but I'll give you that. Give you the floor anyway.
This is true.
Yeah.
I can't believe how they try to pass that there's decreases in spending when our property taxes are going up.
Yeah.
That's just a fact of life. And with the amount that they're paying for pensions and the number of employees we have, and we've covered this stuff before.
I'll get back into it in a second.
Yeah. It boggles my mind. I know that the major part of the budget is supposed to be going to fire and police, and those things are important, but there's so much of the other part of the budget that I think can be cut that's the part they're refusing to touch.
Yeah, and let me run down a little bit. I want to get onto the employee benefits thing. You know, one of the things here, I don't want to demonize people who make a legitimate living working for the government. You're a cop or a teacher. You are not an enemy. No. But it can't infinitely keep going up the way it's going up. City of Crystal's fond of saying that nobody's gotten a raise. Nobody's ever gets a raise in the City of Crystal. Well, their own numbers don't bear that out. This is according to their budget, page 19 on their website. Employee compensation has grown 11% since 2007, $641,000. Employee benefits in the same time have grown 26%, $503,000 in employee benefits. Because remember, as taxpayers, we get the total bill. It's not just salaries and wages. It's health care, it's child care, it's whatever else we pay. And let me tell you some other parts of where anybody in the City of Crystal tells you they've cut everything essential, you give them my list of stuff here that I'm going to spout out to you. We spend $24,608 on clothing allowances. We have a separate health savings plan. We're spending $800,000 to cover 100 employees, but we have a separate $86,314 account, $6,000 on an auto allowance. I guess we have to pay a car to get them to work. And I thought most of our employees were salaried, but we actually pay $154,000 of overtime every year. And remember, we have 100 employees.
Yeah.
See, that struck me too in the New Hope budget. Again, coming from private industry, your budget is $150,000.
Yeah.
New Hope's budget's $250,000 for overtime. That pointed out a glaring difference between government employment and private industry. Nobody in their right mind in private industry will budget overtime.
Yeah.
what they'll say is no overtime, particularly when times are tight. You just don't work overtime.
Well, yeah, and I still come back to how many employees are wage and are salary. I mean, that seems.
Yeah, I don't know the issue.
If we have 100 employees or 100 full-time equivalents,
Yeah.
pardon me, I know a good chunk of our administration is salaried.
Yeah.
So that has to be a percentage of those people.
Right.
Right.
I know, like the council only makes so much.
Yep.
And
City
we've-
manager, their salary.
assistant city manager.
Yeah, finance director, deputy finance director,
Yeah.
you know, deputy dog catcher, everything else that they have there. Listen to some other stuff here, folks. Pardon my cough. But I get excited when I talk about this stuff. We spend $10,000 on education assistance, $15,000 a year paying bank fees, $12,000 a year giving out awards, $49,000 on postage, $44,000 on community connect charges, and $6,200 advertising for city jobs when we have no city jobs available right now. And they've cut out everything essential. But they're paying $12,000 for awards. Is it a necessary government function to do that?
At the same time, we pay taxes to fund a statewide employment service. That's online,
That's right.
and there's assistance available for people to get jobs and to list employers to list jobs, and they're spending that amount of money on advertising.
For jobs that we don't have.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know, I've pointed out one of the things I went on December 7th of last year when they were trying to finalize their budget. They really went through, you know, the average home and what it pays. And I don't know about businesses, but it's about $600 a year that goes to the city portion of the property tax. So 10 homes, half a block is being spent to advertise, Jason, for jobs that we do not have open.
It's probably mine because
Yeah.
my block seems to be the most wasteful. Of,
That's right. You're the block that's expendable, right?
Yes, we are. And